Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for The Incredibles 2. So The Incredibles 2 comes to us from director Brad Bird, who did direct the first Incredibles, and there has been a 14-year gap between the first one and the second one. That's a large sequel gap. And this one follows the story of the Incredibles. It's a family with superpowers, and the mom gets a special job at a new place where basically she's putting a camera on herself and she's allowing the rest of the world to see herself while she is saving people and saving lives, so that hopefully that can change the outcome of superheroes around America and their legality. And then in the meantime, Mr. Incredible is at home trying to raise 3 kids, because usually it's what the wife does, but it's swapping right now for the meantime so that Elastigirl she can have this great job opportunity, and Mr. Incredibles has to raise the 3 children. And 2 of them are mostly fine. There's Violet and there's Dash, and they're okay. He just has a few things. But the most difficult one is Jack Jack, because he is starting to develop new powers. And while all of this is going on, there's this reoccurring villain with Elastigirl whose name is Screensaver, and they keep on appearing everywhere. They seem like they're hypnotizing people, and she tries to get to the bottom of it. So The Incredibles 2 was a movie I was looking forward to, but not nearly as much as everybody else in the world. People seem to love the first Incredibles. They think it's the best Pixar movie. They think it's the best superhero movie. People are absolutely in love with it. And for a while, I didn't like it all that much. I thought it was okay, but I just recently rewatched it, and I do like it a lot more than I remember. It's got some fun action. It's got some really great themes about just family in general, and trying to live a normal life despite feeling that you could do better. It's really a really well done film, and I think that Brad Bird did a great job directing it, because many people have said it, and I'm going to repeat it again. He directs movies, animated movies, like they're live action movies. He treats them the same exact way, and that's why he produces movies that kids can enjoy but are really more targeted towards adults. Even Ratatouille, his other Pixar movie, is definitely more targeted towards adults. It really does feel more like an adult movie rather than a kid movie, but it is kid friendly, which is always great to see. So Incredibles 2 I was looking forward to, but in a packed auditorium of probably 300 plus people that were all cheering their heads off at every little thing, I was definitely the least excited out of all of them, but I actually found a lot of enjoyment in Incredibles 2. It's hard to say really if the first one or this one is better, because they're both better for different reasons, but personally, I got more entertainment out of this second one than I did the first one. I'm going to start off with problems, because there's really just one big glaring problem, and that's with the villain, Screenslaver. Unfortunately, it's something that you can predict from 5 minutes in, and every single person that I've talked to said that they predicted it 5 minutes in, who the villain was, what their intentions were, and all that kind of stuff. They set it up and make it really obvious, which kind of makes Elastigirl's whole subplot feel really, really weak. It's an okay subplot, it's entertaining for what it is, but when it comes to actual story beats, it's really weak. On the flip side of that, Mr. Incredible's story is something that we haven't really seen in an animated movie before, let alone in the last Incredibles movie. This one does not focus on as many exciting things. There's not as much action with this one, but this one was definitely far more entertaining. There are so many funny moments to be had in Mr. Incredible trying to train Jack Jack, and him trying to learn the math for Dash because they changed math for some reason, and he also tries to deal with Violet because she's having boy problems. It's all really entertaining stuff, and it's all really well done, and I think that the movie thankfully puts more of a focus on the Mr. Incredible subplot than on the Elastigirl subplot. The Elastigirl subplot is in there, yeah, but it's really not as prominent. And to make Elastigirl's subplot a little more bearable, they thankfully have some absolutely stunning action sequences. I was amazed at how amazing the action was in this movie. That's definitely something they've improved from the first one, and nobody can deny that. The first one had entertaining action, for sure, but this one, the action is just so big in terms of scale. You've got so many people whose lives are online, and the animation for it is incredible, and like I said earlier, Brad Bird directed that action sequence like it was a superhero movie. He didn't do it like an animated movie so that everything felt so big. And when there's a certain boat speeding towards something, I don't want to spoil what that is, but it's really fast-paced and it's really exhilarating, and it's the type of action sequence where once it's over, the characters are taking a breath and you are also taking a breath. And something that's really understated with this Incredibles movie that I would really like to bring up is the voice acting. Because the voice acting in this movie is great. They have a lot of really great voice actors, even in some of the more minor characters, like the people who hire Elastigirl, the sister of that group, who is voiced by the mom from Get Out. She was great. She fit the voice perfectly, and all of the voice acting in it was actually incredible. I mean, Holly Hunter has always been a great voice actor. All of the original Incredibles, other than Dash, who they replace, all of them, of course, continue to do great jobs from the first one, but every single character that they brought in, I noticed had a really distinct voice and did a really great job with the voice acting. And something else that everybody else has mentioned is the animation. Of course, it's incredible. No pun intended, but of course it is. It is Pixar. Pixar does a great job with their animation, and this is no difference. What I really like what they did with the animation is that they kept a lot of the same style from the first Incredibles, and the first Incredibles was made in a time where animation isn't as great as it is now. It was still good back then, but in today's standards it looks pretty flimsy. But they took that style of animation, kept it the exact same, and then made it so that in Incredibles 2, the animation looks similar, but it's a lot more detailed, it's a lot more intense, and I love the way that they made this animation just look incredible. So, The Incredibles 2 overall is a really great movie that I really enjoyed watching. I think that the main thing that it suffers from is the cliched villain subplot, which we have seen so many times before that it's basically just unbearable and it's so tired, and I'm really honestly kind of ashamed that they went with that subplot, because if they would have done anything else, this movie could have been so much better. But at the same time, it's already a great movie with great voice acting, animation, action sequences, and some really hilarious jokes revolving around Mr. Incredible and him trying to raise his family. I think that Incredibles 2 is a great movie for really everybody. This movie reaches across a lot of demographics, and I think mostly anybody could go into this movie and have a good time. I'm going to give Incredibles 2 a 7.5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Incredibles 2. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what do you think of the original Incredibles? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.